What's up, guys? It's Squall Rush, and this is Anime Sessions. Here, I will cover anime topics or debates across various types of animes that there are no answers for. I will deep dive and research these topics and find the answer, if there is one. So welcome in, and thanks for viewing today's topic of... Is L really even a good guy? So, in the fandom of the Death Note universe, L is widely considered the good guy of the two, between L and Light, or Kira. But is he really even a good guy? Between the two of them, Kira has committed murder on a worldwide scale. He's committed genocide up there with the worst of them. L, on the other hand, has not. L is more on the side of the law. Let everything play out, gather evidence, and let the law punish them. Light is the type that takes law into his own hands. Although he mainly punishes people that the law sees as bad people, he also uses people and will kill people that get in his way. L actually uses people too, but he doesn't punish people that get in his way. L has actually gone out of his way to save Matsuda in one episode. Matsuda, a cop, felt that he was useless in one episode, so he took it upon himself to go snooping around in the Akira investigation himself. But he gets caught by the corporation that the substitute Kira resides in, and he's basically held hostage without being held hostage. So, in order to save Matsuda, L comes up with this complicated plan to save Matsuda, where he fakes his own death.
Matsuda, you idiot.
He pretends to get too drunk, slips and falls off the balcony. They catch him in the floor under him, and they use a fake body prop to slamp on the ground. Light, on the other hand, he considered killing his own father and his own sister if it meant them getting in the way or Kira getting caught in any way. Light used Misa for her eyes, used Takeda to take out Mello, and killed Takeda himself afterwards. These are the main differences between the two. However, L is not without his faults. So, let's go over L's bad side. So L is actually not all good, and this might be a little controversial, but I think he's actually a little bit evil as well. Light and L are kind of two sides of the same coin, an evil coin you could say. So what makes L more on the evil side are a couple of things. You can actually make the argument that L actually doesn't care about life.
NANI?
I know that contradicts the Matsuda example I gave earlier, but hear me out. There were 2 times that L was willing to throw lives away. The first time was in episode 2 when he was introduced. Lind L. Taylor was an inmate who was scheduled to die that day, who posed as L on television. Once he declared war on Kira, Light kills him. L basically sentences the man to death. Because of L, he died right there. I know what you're thinking, but he was gonna die anyways. Yes, he was scheduled to die that day, but L was the one who essentially killed him there. It's like, you see a person about to get hit by a car and possibly die, but you go over there and stab him in the heart first before that happens. Okay, bad example, but you get the picture. He has little regard for life in this aspect, because he was willing to do this again to test out the fake 13-day rule in the Death Note. He was going to use criminals who were scheduled to die in 13 days and use the Death Note to see if they were going to die in 13 days. 1, who were they going to kill in the Death Note? And 2, if they did die, it just shows how little regard he has for human lives. But the worst of them all is when he kidnapped Misa to confine her for 50 days to get the truth out of her. L tied her up, blindfolded her, and kept her in a standing position for 50 days. I don't know about you guys, but if I get trapped in an elevator for 30 minutes without my phone, or longer, I'd probably go crazy. Her situation was worse. Can't move, can't see, stuck in one position for 50 days. They didn't physically torture her, but Watari did some sort of torturing to her. But all in all, this is a terrible situation to put someone in. Also, let's not forget that L set up surveillance and wiretaps in Light's house without his consent or knowledge, or the family members' knowledge. So this just proves this man will go to great lengths to solve a case. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to Event Sir for suggesting this topic. Please check out his channel as well and consider shooting him a sub. He suggested that L is a Machiavellian, which is defined as a personality trait that denotes cunningness, the ability to be manipulative, and a drive to whatever means necessary to gain power. I wouldn't say he has a drive to gain power, but definitely a drive to solve a case. L would go to great lengths to solve a case, which we've seen throughout the whole show. And I would argue he would actually even break the law if he was allowed to solve the case. I would say he has very little regard for human life, not to the extent that Light is, but he's pretty much down there with Light. So this Machiavellian actually does describe L pretty well. You know who also it describes pretty well? Light Yagami. Which also kind of proves that L and Light are this two sides of the same coin theory. In my opinion, L and Light are kind of the same person. It's just that one lets the ego get the better of him, while L doesn't have an ego. What led to Light's downfall is that he gets angry if someone comes across Kira in a certain type of way, while L doesn't really care about that stuff, but he's willing to go to great lengths to solve a case. And he'll go through great lengths to solve a case, which are very unhumane in some ways. So all in all, L is not as bad as Light, but he's still pretty bad if you really think about it. If he's willing to go through these great lengths to catch Kira, well, given the fact that you have to go through great lengths to catch Kira, someone like Kira, but who's to say he won't do it again if he was given the chance to, in case something else crazy happens to the world. I would argue that L will go to greater lengths if push came to shove. Alright guys, that was Anime Sessions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video where I deep dive and go into various anime topics. If you did like it, please hit that like and subscribe. If you have any topics for me to go over, please don't hesitate to suggest some in the comments below. In the meantime, check out my other videos in the playlist called DBZ Sessions or Anime Sessions. Y'all have a good one. I'm out.